Good evening, everyone. This is The Coin, your once daily Bitcoin roundup. My name is Justin Holtz with Holtz Enterprises, and tonight we're doing episode 4 as a screencast because my camera just died. So, anyways, in the spirit of Friday, I went and picked up one of my favorite local beers. This particular one is called Great White from Lost Coast Brewery. It's just a nice, smooth, light, citrusy microbrew. So if you haven't tried it before, definitely recommend it. But anyways, for those of you that have been following the market today, you're probably a little bit disappointed. The price of Bitcoin started out at around 11, and then it took a bit of a hit for the rest of the day. It dropped down to around 9 at one point, and it's sort of been fluctuating between 9 and 10 at the moment. It's probably pretty likely that an early adopter or a Bitcoin miner unloaded a few thousand Bitcoin on the market because the trade volume's been a bit higher than it normally is. But anyways, for those of you that want to keep up to date on Mt. Gox's information, Mt. Gox Live recently got bought out by them, and they just incorporated a new feature, audio notifications. So if you're like me and you want to stay up to date on the price, but you're not always at your desk, you can just crank up the volume a little bit, and it'll chime in every once in a while with the current price. So that's pretty nifty. Also, NPR has been staying fairly up to date with Bitcoin. About a month ago, they did a fairly detailed story on Bitcoin. But this particular podcast that they did yesterday is pretty much just a recap of what they did last month. So if you caught last month's story, you probably don't need to listen to this again. But anyways, a guy by the name of Jeffrey Paul recently gave a talk at the Chaos Communication Congress called Financing the Revolution, and he talks about a variety of different digital currencies, but in particular Bitcoin. For those of you that want to know more about Bitcoin or are like me and just can't get enough information, the video is probably about an hour long, but it's just crammed full of useful information, and he's a fairly eloquent speaker, so you're definitely not going to be bored. Also, I wanted to talk about our first affiliate sponsor, exchangebitcoin.com, or exchangebitcoins.com, EXCHB for short. They're the first US Bitcoin exchange, and they have very low trade fees, 0.54%, as well as the ability to deposit cash or check or at any Chase or Wells Fargo bank and have the money in your account within several hours rather than waiting several days. Also, if you use my affiliate code, the coin, when you sign up, you'll get 50% off trade fees for the first 30 days. So, if you're just looking for, if you're just starting out and looking for an exchange to use, or are tired of another exchange and looking one to switch to, highly recommend these guys. They've got a telephone support line if you're having issues, and they're just in general very nice people. So, yeah. But for those of you that weren't keeping up to date on the Bitcoin conference in New York, definitely recommend checking out Gavin's talk at least. Jeff Garzik also gave a talk as well. But for the most part, these videos have very bad sound quality, so you're probably going to have to turn up the volume a lot to even understand what they're saying. But Gavin in particular talked a lot about future development of the software program, which I found fairly interesting. One of the next things they're going to be implementing is wallet encryption, which we've been needing for a really long time. Anyways, just recently, for those of you that aren't really into Bitcoin mining, you probably know, or maybe you don't, but the majority of Bitcoin mining is done in Bitcoin pools, where a large number of miners all contribute to working on the same block. The only problem with this is it centralizes the power with an individual entity rather than being truly decentralized. To solve this, someone came up with the P2P pool, which is basically a decentralized mining pool. And from what I heard, they found their first Bitcoin block, so that's impressive. Just shows that people are always innovating to try to make Bitcoin more resilient to things like DDoS attacks and that sort of thing. Also, MIT recently did a technology review on Bitcoin. From my perspective, it sounds very skeptical. They get a lot of their facts straight, which is good, but at the same time, there's sort of a negative vibe to their article. They don't really believe that it's going to be here for very long. But anyways, it's good that it's getting out into the mainstream. The more people that see it, the better. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that I'm doing right now. In particular, I just set up a site called getblocks.org. I'm going to try to upload the latest blockchain to here every once in a while, just because I've been personally frustrated when my blockchain gets corrupted and I have to re-download the whole thing. It takes almost a day sometimes. So for those of you that are like me and have had that happen a few times, I'm just providing the service where you can download the entire blockchain. I know some people probably don't trust that, but the service is there if you want it. Also, I'm working on compiling Bitcoin as well as WX widgets and a couple other programs that currently aren't compiled on ARM processor or aren't compiled for ARM yet. So I'll also have those online so that people don't have to go through the headache that I went through. But anyways, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover today. I guess I will see you tomorrow.